Treasurer Jim Chalmers will deliver his fourth and possibly his final budget a week from today. It'll deliver a deficit and forecast deficits as far as the eye can see as government debt pushes towards $1 trillion, $1,000 billion that is. Now, Labor has increased permanent recurrent spending by more than any other government since Gough Whitlam's half a century ago. It's still throwing money around like crazy, desperately hoping to buy votes and hold on to power. But to soften up voters for next week's bad news, Chalmers has invoked Tropical Cyclone Alfred. You know, the one that turned into a tropical low before it crossed the coast into Queensland just over a week ago.
I expect that these costs and these new provisions will be in the order of at least $1.2 billion, a substantial amount of money, and that means a big new pressure on the...
There's always someone or something else to blame for this mob, isn't there? The Australian newspaper has done a great job putting this into perspective today, using that figure of $1.2 billion as a new monetary unit, a Cyclone Alfred, and looking at how much other Albanese Labor government decisions have cost. Labor's Future Made in Australia boondoggle, pumping taxpayers' money into impractical green energy schemes and the like, costs 18.9 Cyclone Alfreds. And Labor has pumped more than 11 Cyclone Alfreds into green hydrogen and critical minerals schemes. Their promised roads and so-called cost of living measures total about 20 Cyclone Alfreds. And Labor have stuffed up their electricity price promise so badly that they've already spent almost 3 Cyclone Alfreds on trying to keep power prices down. Yeah, Labor doesn't need a cyclone to shake taxpayers' money loose. They can't help themselves. The Prime Minister was at it again today, spruiking government support for renewable energy.
Australia needs to be ambitious. We must be optimistic. We can create more jobs here. We can be a renewable energy superpower for the world. And working with the private sector is what we are doing.
Never mind that he was in Gladstone, Queensland, where a multi-billion-dollar green hydrogen plan has already bitten the dust, despite billions of dollars of taxpayer-funded subsidies on offer. Never mind the hard realities. Labor keeps talking up renewables and throwing money at them. But strangely enough, the radical environmentalists that this is all designed to appease, well, as the Treasurer found out today, they're never going to be happy.
Days of heavy winds and soaking rain saw major flooding and substantial damage.
Australia cannot afford any more climate disasters, the intensity of those. When will the Labor Party stop funding more coal and gas projects?
Australians were cut off from power.
Mr Chalmers, that were 8 days without power. The young people of this nation are going to suffer for the rest of their lives. When is Labor going to stop funding and approving new coal and gas?
Yeah, but they put up our power prices to try and appease these clowns. The real story, of course, is that the government's net zero by 2050 ambitions are hurting this country, undermining the budget and strangling the economy while they do absolutely nothing for the environment. Global emissions are rising steeply. Australia's actions are redundant. Absolute madness. Deliberate national self-harm with no upside whatsoever. As I pointed out last week, it's no good complaining about tariffs imposed on our products when we've used energy self-harm to put our own tariff on everything we do in this country. High energy and gas prices, the cost of decarbonisation. This cuts to the chase. Forget the US putting tariffs on our steel exports. We're putting our own energy tariff on everything we make in this country. Yeah, it was good to see this logic reflected in The Australian today by David Pearl. He talked about our impending net zero black hole and noted that this target, this policy, is a self-imposed monster tariff on our entire $2.7 trillion economy, dwarfing Donald Trump's hit on our steel and aluminium industries. Yeah, we are in economic strife. We need to work our way out of it, playing to our economic strengths, boosting productivity and containing government spending. But instead, we've got a bunch of ideologues that are talking about our economy as if this is some sort of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory story, and they're promoting their implausibly grand green dreams as the golden ticket.
Green hydrogen Australia is in a unique position of having the best solar resources in the world, amongst the best wind resources in the world. We have everything that can go into the creation of green hydrogen to create green metals is very important going forward. And that's why, as well, you will see first mover advantage around the world.
Just nutty stuff. You and I want a sound economy. You and I want good jobs and affordable housing for our kids. And you and I want affordable and reliable electricity and low taxes. We all want responsible government. And even though at least half a dozen major projects have been scrapped in the past couple of months, we've got a Prime Minister pushing a green hydrogen revolution. Gaia, help us.